The Second Great Ninja War is one of the most important events in the world of Naruto that shaped the future of the shinobi world. This war followed the First Great Ninja War and was fought among all the major shinobi villages and even Amegakure. According to some, this war was actually triggered by none other than Konoha itself. This war saw countless legends rise to the occasion, especially those from the village hidden in the leaves. Among thousands of shinobi who took part in this turbulent war, we've picked the 10 strongest shinobi who affected its outcome. CHIYO. CHIYO was one of the most influential ninjas from Sanagakure who fought in this war. She is said to be responsible for countless deaths in the war, mostly thanks to her diverse use of poisons. During this war, CHIYO clashed against Tsunade, who is known to have countered almost all of her poisons, and saved thousands of lives in the process. Unfortunately, her exact strength isn't known since she wasn't focused on in her prime. Nonetheless, CHIYO's strength is not to be underestimated, and we're fairly certain that she's easily one of the strongest shinobi to have fought in this war. Third Kazekage. The third Kazekage led Sanagakure in the Second Great Ninja War and is said to have done decently in the war. Interestingly enough, the third Kazekage is said to be the strongest Kazekage in the history of Sanagakure, likely surpassed by Gaara in the future. He possessed the Kekkei Genkei of magnet release, using which he could control iron sand, something that made him quite a dangerous foe for anyone to fight against. In the Third Great Ninja War, he was finally kidnapped and killed by Sasori, one of his own shinobi. Nagato. Nagato was barely a teen when the Second Great Ninja War began, however, within him slept powers great enough to destroy the world. Being orphaned by the war, Nagato was taken in by Jiraiya and trained in the ways of shinobi arts. Since the Second Great Ninja War went on for a couple of years, Nagato grew slowly and got enough time to gain control over his powers. It isn't known exactly how much control he had over his eyes, but considering his age, the 8th spot is quite deserved for him. Tsunade Senju. Tsunade was the most influential of the legendary Sannin members who took part in the Second Great Ninja War. This was down to the fact that she saved countless lives due to her medical ninjutsu and highlighted the need for medics in 3-man cells in Konoha. In terms of power, Tsunade was likely the weakest of the Sannin, however, she was powerful enough to face the legendary Hanzo in battle and survive. It was during this that Tsunade witnessed Dan die, and after an unsuccessful attempt to save his life, she suffered from hemophobia. Orochimaru. Yet another member of the legendary Sannin, Orochimaru fought extremely well in the Second Great Ninja War, enough to earn plaudits from the likes of the higher-ups at Konohagakure. Although his feats from the war aren't known, he did fight against Hanzo the Salamander and did extremely well to not die. Orochimaru could already use lots of powerful jutsu at this point in time, having been inspired by none other than his master, Hiruzen Sarutobi, also known as the Professor. As mentioned by Kishimoto himself, Orochimaru was a master of all the 5 basic nature transformations, which makes him an extremely hard foe to fight against for anyone. Jiraiya. The final member of the famed legendary Sannin, Jiraiya also represented Konohagakure in this war, just like his other teammates. Although Jiraiya wasn't as strong as Orochimaru when he was a kid, his progress ever since then was tremendous, and he drew level to Orochimaru, possibly even pulling ahead thanks to the Sage Mode. Jiraiya also fought against Hanzo the Salamander in Amegakure during this war, earning his praise in the process. What's more, he also took care of the AIM orphans and raised them into excellent shinobi. Out of all the Sannin, Jiraiya had the most interesting role to play in the war. Sakumo Hatake. Sakumo Hatake was one of Konohagakure's legends, and also the father of Kakashi Hatake. He took part in the Second Great Ninja War and ended up making quite a name for himself, received the moniker of the White Fang of the Leaf. Sakumo fought against Sasori's parents in this war and ended up killing them, leaving CHIYO with a strong distaste for him. It was during this war that Sakumo Hatake abandoned a mission for his friends and then ended up taking his own life when he was shunned for it. Nonetheless, Sakumo was a fantastic shinobi and someone who people in the village still look up to even today. Onoki. The third Tsuchikage of Iwagakure, Onoki led his village into the Second Great Ninja War, and this battle only proved to the start of his long reign. His Majestic strength helped Iwagakure in more than one way, which is why he could be considered as the second strongest shinobi in Iwagakure's history, after Mu. When it comes to powers, Onoki had the ability to use dust release, which is a powerful Keke Tota ability capable of turning things to dust upon contact. Although not the strongest, Onoki was a brilliant shinobi and his love for his village made him even stronger. Hanzo. Popularly known as Hanzo of the Salamander, Hanzo hailed from Amegakure and was one of the strongest shinobi in the history of the land, possibly surpassed only by Nagato Uzumaki. Although he didn't have any flashy Keke Genkai up his sleeve, Hanzo was still a monster when it came to combat. Not even the legendary Sannin together could beat him, which says a lot about his abilities. During this war, Hanzo was impressed by the ability of the Konoha trio of Tsunade Senju, Orochimaru, and Jiraiya, which is why he ended up giving them the title of the legendary Sannin of the Leaf. Hiruzen Sarutobi. Known by many names, such as the God of Shinobi and the Professor, Hiruzen Sarutobi was one of the strongest characters in the history of Konohagakure. He took control of the village during the First Great Ninja War and led them in 2 more wars following that. When it came to powers, Hiruzen was easily the strongest of his era. In fact, he was said to be stronger than the 5-Kage even in his old age, which is a remarkable feat in Naruto. In his prime, Hiruzen is said to be stronger than even Hashirama Senju, however, we'll never know if that statement stands true or not.